What's up, everybody? So, Vash still here again with another GG anime. Again, no fancy editing, anything unnecessary. Because, bare bones. That's what my style is. So, today's another Fullmetal Alchemist video. I know I've done like 100 of these at this point right now, I'm kidding. But I have done quite a few videos on Fullmetal Alchemist. The reason is because it's an easy one to talk about. I've rewatched it multiple times and everything. But above all, it's one of my favorite animes, and it's one of the top most rated animes of all time. You know, it's put on a pedestal. Uh, not the original 2003, but Brotherhood is put on like pedestal of like what anime should be. But like again, it's not perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect series. Every series has its own flaws and whatnot. So that's why GG anime exists. So this one is kind of around both the original Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 series and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, there's a reason for that, and it's because of the pacing, obviously. Now, for those of you that have seen the original Fullmetal Alchemist and then Brotherhood as well, for the people who have seen both series, you guys understand why certain things are the way they are in Brotherhood because of the way the original 2003 series was. However, for some people, I know a few people who, when they watched the Brotherhood series, and Brotherhood was the only Fullmetal Alchemist series they watched. They didn't watch the original Fullmetal Alchemist. They watched Brotherhood, and Brotherhood was the only one that they watched. So, there are certain scenes in Brotherhood that could have been done better if they had the pacing from the original FMA. For example, the most well-known scene in all of anime, Nina and Alexander. Yeah, you guys kind of saw this one coming if you've recognized the series and whatnot, and what kind of a series it is. So, spoilers, obviously, if you haven't watched it, but if you have, I mean, if you guys are here, you guys probably watched it, considering all my other videos had spoilers too. Anyway, off topic. The scene where Shao Tucker makes Nina and Alexander into a talking chimera, it's not as impactful in Brotherhood as it was in the original FMA. For the reason being that in the original FMA, the way the pacing was, there was an entire arc and several episodes dedicated to Ed and Al's relationship with the Tuckers, not just Nina and Alexander, but with Shao Tucker too, holding them in his house for Ed to be able to take the state licensing exam, right? That's what it was. I think should be. Don't remember, not entirely, but I think that's what it was. But yeah, Ed was staying with the Tuckers for a specific reason. He was going to be taking a test that made him qualify for something. I honestly can't remember what it was. But like, even though that may not have been what it was in the original manga, that arc that we got with Ed, Al, Nina, and Alexander, and Shao Tucker, that entire arc that we got, that's what made it hurt more when Nina and Alexander got fused as the talking chimera. Whereas in Brotherhood, you got an episode, and then the next episode was Nina and Alexander talking chimera. And it's just, there's no build up there, there's nothing coming out of it, there's not that much emotions to it. Like, for anybody who saw the original, they knew what was going on, they knew what was happening, they understood it. And this was a point brought up by Little Karibo on Twitter where he said, I don't remember exactly what it was, but he asked the question like, why are some episodes not in the original Fullmetal Alchemist that are from the original Fullmetal Alchemist not in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood? And it's kind of the fact that the studio kind of figured that they didn't have to reanimate those scenes from the original Fullmetal Alchemist because anybody who was watching Brotherhood was already a fan of FMA. So there's really no need for them to, make the make the scenes all over again. So they just assumed that anybody who watched Brotherhood had already watched the original FMA. So that was literally the only reason that there scenes from the certain original FMA did not make it into Brotherhood, simply because if you were gonna watch Brotherhood, you were already a fan of Fullmetal Alchemist, so you didn't really need to get that background in Brotherhood. They felt it was unnecessary for it. So, yeah, honestly, that's why I say you can't judge both of them as two separates. You have to judge them as a whole together. There's a reason. There's a reason that people argue which Fullmetal Alchemist is the best, because they're both the same series. It's just one caught up with the manga while it was in serialization and had to take a different route, and the other one was made afterwards. But that's why I tell anybody who I recommend Fullmetal Alchemist to, watch Fullmetal Alchemist and then watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood to get the full, complete story. But yeah, honestly, the pacing, like I was saying, the pacing is what makes Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood imperfect. Like, there's a lot of things that, like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect series, but Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's pacing, the way it handled certain character arcs, the way it changed certain story elements that were really solid in the original Fullmetal Alchemist, like the whole scene with Hughes and Gracia, Winry getting over the vengeance of her parents, um, you know, all those scenes that we got in Brotherhood would have been a lot more impactful if they had the background information that we had gotten in Fullmetal Alchemist. But you can't really do much at this point in time. So, but yeah, and that's why I'm telling Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, GG. So yeah. Anyway, this has been Vash Steel signing out, and remember, this too shall pass.